G'day folks, and welcome to this playthrough of Mark Simonitch's North Africa 41 by GMT Games. This was published in 2023. Part of Mark's 19XX or Zockbond series I had it referred to lately. And this one is really quite different. I'm actually a little worried because I've played I've played everything in this series except for this one, and it seems to be the most different. Fair to say, yeah, reading through the rules, I was really surprised at all the many different things. I'm going to say up front, before I even start, this was probably the hardest of this series to wrap my head around, just with all the different elements. It is very different to every other. Yeah, it's the most distinct, the most different in the series. There's so many differences that I might do a whole separate video just on those differences. As I play through, I'll try and remark on these, but because this is so different, I'm a bit worried about adherence to the rules. I will likely make some mistakes, so a big heads up about that just up front. I've got my copy behind me. I've actually got out the player aid cards because there's a lot of information on here. There are a lot more charts in this game than any other as well. I don't think I've seen a title in the series with this many different charts. You've got event tables, you've got port, demolition, bombing, shipping point costs, anti-shipping table. This worries me. You've got access, supply, attrition, allied supply attrition, disengagement table. This is all pretty standard. But then there's stuff that's not on the table. So capture of supplies uses a die roll. What else? Oh look, there's quite a few things to catch me up on. Shipping in particular, I am worried about. This area here, getting access resources from Italy across to Tripoli already worries me. Having read through it, I'm hoping I'll be able to understand it. It's also a big map, so that's covering the whole map. It covers a big area. Wow, going all the way from Alexandria to Elagalia at here, Marble Arch. So it's going to be a challenge in I guess knowing where to put your units. So there's learning the game, and there's learning what to do in this situation. The Germans are coming on, they're going to be attacking. This scenario is enter Rommel, here it is. Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. Just knowing what to do. So knowing the rules and knowing what to do in this situation. Okay folks, I'm going to try to get into it. There's not even I don't even have a sequence of play, so there's so much information on these charts, it doesn't include a sequence of play. So there is a sequence of play, though, in the rulebook. So I might just flip to that and we'll get started. Sorry, before I do that, let's have a look at this scenario in a little bit more detail. Okay, so we use a campaign game setup and reinforcement cards. This is a vassal module, so it comes all set up and ready to go. The Malta status marker. Okay, so I'll just move this off screen. I'll read out as I go. The Malta, so there's the Malta track. Where is it? Here it is. No, victory point track. Here's the Malta track up here on the left. Sorry, there's going to be a lot, fair warning, there's going to be a lot of this zooming around because, as I said, big map. Compared to Salerno, which is one map, this is really spread out. Victory point marker up in the top right. You've got port status markers, resource points. Here's the Malta track. You've got units coming in from Italy, then they're being transferred to Tripoli and then onto the map. And then the allies are over the other side of the map, and there are units, as I said, spread out all over the place. So the multi-status marker starts on the Luftwaffe side in the -2 box, so it's here. So it's strongly in favour of the Axis, but it's easy for the Allies to shift it to the right. All 6 airfield markers start in the Allied Coastal Shipping Modifiers box. All right, so this is the Coastal Shipping Modifiers box. Okay, so that means that there's a -6 modifier to convoys. This is the bit I didn't fully understand. Yep, we'll get to that when we get to it. Port status damage, Benghazi starts at 3. All right, port status is 3. All others are at full capacity. That's all set up for us, full capacity. Accumulated, there are no accumulated resource points. Okay, let's look over here. We've got play a turn, sequence of play. Oh, so we start the first turn on the 3rd impulse by the looks of it. Place the game on turn 1. Place the impulse marker, axis side up on the 3rd impulse, and place the phase marker on the initial phase of the play turn track. There are no fortifications in Bardia or within Tobruk. The Axis start with air superiority. Here's the Allied resource points over here. They're remnants. The Axis start with air superiority. Do we keep that in our head, or am I missing it somewhere? Does that Axis that's multi-track? I know air superiority can shift, and when one side has air superiority, the other side can't do certain things. Do I just keep that in my head, or is there an actual marker? Air superiority. Here we go. There's a big marker there. Great. Place unused supply points and replacements in the replacements and supply pool down here. Okay, so these are our armoured replacements. These are our infantry replacements. Indian, Australian and New Zealanders and South Africans and Polish replacements. Okay. Special rules. This is a 7. No, this is... I'm playing the wrong thing. This is Enter Rommel. Hold on a sec. Same as scenario... Okay, so I'm playing... This is not the Enter Rommel scenario. I am playing the campaign game. Okay, so it's the same as scenario 1.1. Ignore this, because it's the same as... Oh, same as 1.2, except it's 19 turns long. So playing 19 turns long. We start with this play turn. The Allies have already completed their play turn. Their 3rd impulse is skipped, beginning with the Axis initial phase. First action is to roll for the Axis events. All 3 units labelled to reserve are not used, but all 3 units that arrive are placed in the reserve box when they arrive. Okay, bit of special rules around there. So when they arrive, okay. Scenarios 1 and 2, this looks to be the reinforcements. Yep, and it's okay. So the other confusing thing is there are units these are upgrade units, and the example is really weird. They upgrade existing units on the map, so you kind of take them off. But if they've taken step losses, it's not full. It's doing my head in. But we'll get to that when we get to that. That's not until turn 6, so I can read up on replacements before that happens. Now. The units of the 2nd South African Division and the first 3 units of the New Zealand Division that arrive. 2nd South African Division, these guys that arrive are placed in the reserve box. That's pretty clear. So we just follow those rules as stated. Where are the New Zealanders? These guys. 2nd New Zealand remain in the box until turn 12. Okay. That's not until turn 7 and turn 9, so I can worry about that later. Okay, in the bottom row of the turn track, there is a benchmark indicating the number of airfields the Axis player should control on each turn. 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 to 1 if they last this long. Count only the 5 airfields on the map. So let's have a look for these airfields, because that's going to be important. I actually haven't looked at this yet. We have got Benina here, Matuba here, Gambut here, Sidi Barani here, and Fuka here. During the victory point phase, if the Axis player controls more than that benchmark number, he earns 1 victory points for each airfield above the number. If he controls less, he loses 1 VP for each airfield he's short. I like that system. Having not played it, I like that idea. The airfield must be full supply. Keep track of VPs using the VP marker on the VP track. Here it is. Okay. If the marker reaches 12, then the Axis wins automatically. If it reaches -12, then the Allies win automatically. If neither player has it won by the end of turn 19, the Axis player is declared the winner. If it's positive, if it's negative, the Allied player is declared the winner. So that's a pretty cool system, and that's kind of like the Paths of Glory system. I like that kind of victory point tracker. And that's it. That's the scenario instructions. So I will keep in mind those replacements as they come on, but let's tentatively get into it. Just a reminder, the game starts with Allied Third Impulse. Begin with the Axis initial phase. First action is to roll for the Axis event for the third impulse. So folks, there are Axis events, and they should be on play card, not 3, they should be on player card. Are they here? Yeah, play card, what sheet is it? That's the one, it's my 3rd page. Not that one. That's my terrain effects card. Okay, where is it? Oh, that's the resource list. No, that's not an event. Okay, sorry. Initial phase. Hold on a sec. So the sequence of action impulse. Roll 2d6 on event table. Roll 2d6 on the event table. Where is the event table? I've literally got my physical sheet here. There's no events there. Here it is. It is on player aid card. Not one. There it is. It popped up and I didn't see it. Okay. All right, so it's there. Roll 2d6 on this event table. Let's see what's happening. 6, Middle East Command. Record 1 resource point on your resource point track. This is another element of this game which is I kind of like, but it also adds to the complexity. We have 1 Axis resource point. We can spend these resource points to do things. So I got really excited when I was reading through Campaign for North Africa, all these things you can do. We can spend these resource points to do things. We can repair ports. This is a cost. We can do a bombing raid on an enemy port. We can build a fortification, truck replacements, headquarters replacements, strafing, air support cost 2, long-range desert group, large convoy, Malta reinforce, that's an automatic movement of that marker, 2 points, and air transport, move an infantry replacement from the Italy box to a friendly airport, so they don't have to worry about shipping. Commando Supremo, receive a Commando Supremo marker. This lets the Italians and Germans attack together. Benghazi Convoy allows the Italian convoys to sail directly to Benghazi, but I think there's a greater risk. I think they have to roll twice on the anti-shipping table. And for 3 points, U-boats in the med, move the Malta status marker 2 spaces to the left. I do like that if I can get 3 supply points. That's pretty cool. So these are resource points. Resource points. These are resource points that I can spend to do cool things with. All right. That's the event done. I've recorded a thing. Replacements. Are there any replacements on this first turn? Let's check out the the Axis replacement schedule. At start in the Tripoli box, nothing on turn 1. So 2 units coming on turn 2. This is where we now complete fortifications. We then remove transport markers, rail, air and naval markers, and we get to the movement phase, where I can move some, none or all of my units. Oh boy, okay. Very nervous about this. This is pretty much, the good thing about it is, look, you've got one road at the start. So I've got this massive stack of units. Stacking in this game is 5 points. One silhouetted unit stacks for free. So you look at this stack here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 3, it's hard to point at this, but 3 numbers. The numbers to the right of the silhouette are the stacking value. Units with a border around them are free stacking. You can only have one of those stacked for free. The others will cost 1. So here we have 5 plus 1 for free, in effect. And stacking is 5, so they're at their stacking limit. You can notice here delay markers. So there are delay markers, much like we have seen in Holland 44 and the Ardennes 44. This is the DAC headquarters. So they do not provide artillery shift. They only provide combat supply. All right, so I've mentioned combat supply. This game features combat supply. You must, if you're attacking with 10 or more factors, spend a supply point to fuel that greater attack capacity. Otherwise, your attack is limited to 9 attack factors. So if I attack with this whole stack, for example, they have got 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. If I provide supplies, I attack with 28. If I don't, their strength is just 9. You can have a maximum of 30 attack factors in combat and a maximum of 15 attack factors. Okay, so it's interesting. It's different between the attacker and the defender. There are Italians and there are Germans. They cannot attack together unless you've got that Commando Supremo. There are supply points. So here's a supply point, and you have mobile supply units. So you can flip these units over, give them a truck. I thought you could give them a truck, maybe, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you give them a truck and they become MSUs. And they can extend your supply lines. You can trace, supply is much the same as in other games of this series. You can trace 5 overland hexes. I think it's hexes, not movement points, 5 overland hexes, and to a road, and then from a road back to a friendly supply source, but your MSUs can extend that. There are a lot of interesting rules around supply. There's isolation. It's much more ruthless. Units can surrender if they retreat twice in combat, or if they have a forced retreat more than 2 spaces. So yeah, some really interesting things going on. The Allies are sitting here in this fortification, which doubles their defense to 6. So I will get 28, I think I said, on 6. No. I don't think I have Allied Axis, sorry. Here we go, these guys are all sitting in Tripoli, right? So they can all come on. Here's my trucks. Here's my other supply points. Hey, IDJ. Thanks, mate. I really don't feel it reading through these rulebook. This is challenging me. Probably the most I've been challenged by a Simonitch title. So many unique units. So here's some of the special units just to show this section of the rulebook. People who don't like exceptions. I think Todd was talking about, Wardrobe was talking about exceptions. This one has exceptions, quite a few. I don't know where Rommel is. Let's, is he coming in? He's got to be on the map. So, oh, here he is. He's on the available assets. So where are my available assets? Where are the Axis? That's the surrender box. So units will pop into the surrender box and then they'll go here and then they get placed in the eliminated box so they can be rebuilt. Here's the allied replacements and supply pools, reserves, so much going on. Where is the Axis? Here it is, up the top here. Is Rommel there? No, Rommel's not there. I've lost Rommel. Is he down here? No. 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 He's hiding the trucks, not hiding in the supplies, hiding with the Italians. I don't know where Rommel is. I tried to put it on my small table and it didn't work very well. Probably can't play it unless I'm playing a Vassal. Yeah, look, I've got no room on my table. That's why I'm heading to Vassal. I've waited a couple of days to play it. I can't find Rommel. Folks, I do not know. I don't know where he is. Order of battle, Axis inventory, main map, Axis. No, they're trucks. German. Where is he? He's not listed. He's not even listed. I guess I just... If you can see him, because I'm looking across the map, he's not hiding in the desert somewhere. He hasn't gone for a walk. Well, this is marker display. I have a marker display full of markers, and there he is. So I basically can flip to use when I use him, and he can be used to extend movement points by 2, to reroll a dice, which I'm thinking immediately. That's how I'll use it. An on-map utility. I don't know what that is used for. Okay, so I've delayed long enough. Let's get these guys moving. All right, so I'm going to grab this stack. They're going to move as a stack. And they can just move 1, 2 up this road. Do I need to? Hold on, let's think about this because there's units over here. 1, 2, 3. Let's look at the terrain effects chart as well. To get a sense of cost. So clear terrain is 1. This rough will cost 2 for mech units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could do that, or I could just drive straight into them. I'm just going to drive straight into them. Big stack, and see how we go. I can inch my headquarters up, attack move. I don't need to worry about my supplies just yet. As for the Italians, I really don't know. 1, 2, 3. Shift them up. Now, I've got all these guys in Tripoli, and it's nice. I note that they are kind of conveniently, let me zoom in. Sorry, this is going to be happening a lot. All these guys are in Tripoli. Okay, so we do have formations, but formations are mainly used, so there's no kind of main attacking force in this title. This will ease the rest of your Friday afternoon at work. Thanks so much, Gabe. I hope it's easy listening and viewing. So all these Italian units sitting in Tripoli want to come onto the map. I think it's just, a case of... So I mentioned, sorry, formations. Formations are only used in this game. You don't have a main attacking force as you do elsewhere. Holland, Salerno, many others. Instead, that main attacking force is only used for breakthrough combat. So units can attack together. They're not halved in combat at all. But when you form that breakthrough group, that's when you need to consider your formation. And I note that these all look to be independent Italians. Then you've got the Ariete. This is the Ariete, I think. Trento and three different formations there. This seems to be the main mobile group, Ariete. So let's get them on the map first. And they'll go now. I'm going to leave the terrain effects. Oh, so many charts I need to have open. It's right in front of me, actually. All right, so I won't open that. I'll use my physical chart. This is a highway. It's interesting. Okay, it's a highway, and mech units use a quarter. So 1 1/4, and then this track is half, so 1 3/4. 1 3/4, 2.25. 2.25. Now hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, mech units can use extended movement to increase their movement allowance by 3. So these guys can go an extra 1, 2 into that rough terrain, and then they have to stop. Yeah, so you're saying North Africa's F41 is the only one of these you don't own. It's the most, as I was saying earlier, it's the most unique of all. You're still waiting for War for the Union. I was looking at that the other day, Peter. Did I get it out? I may have got it out and had a close look at it even. The left side of the board is being clipped off. I will fix that. I don't know why that's happening. I see. How's that? I apologise for that. Thanks for pointing that out, Mark. I didn't realise. So they have to stop there. They've used extended movement, mech units. They can't get into there. They can't afford it. But we can bring some other formations. These guys seem to be... Oh, let's check stacking as well. So we've got 1, 2... They can actually stack a bit more. You can have a maximum of 3 tanks in a hex. So I could really add to this if I can afford the movement. Let's get another independent tank. I'm sure they can stack together. That's 3 tanks maximum. We then have, these guys are not mechanized. Let's get these guys. With some tanks. And this can be maybe my... So he's got some big defensive infantry there. Look at this. They've got a big defense of 5, that bowl formation, but they're inexperienced. Hey, everyone's joining. Welcome, Brun. Okay, so I don't remember reading about... Red box indicates elite. I don't remember reading about a white box. White box. Those with defense strength in a white box are low quality. Low quality units. Here we go. Those with defense in a white are low quality. Okay, what's that? Why does that matter? Oh, okay. Struggle with determined defense and rallying. That's all. And disengagement. Okay, so that's kind of annoying. There's a couple of little things. It doesn't matter too much. It doesn't matter for combat. It's only for rally, disengagement, determined defense. So high values are going to be most important. So I think I'll get these 5s out of here. 1, 2, and grab the tank with them. And they'll go 1, 2, 3 because they are not mech. I do have these trucks here. I could load them up. I've got 3 trucks. I might load them up. So we'll make this a mobile formation. Mobile Italians. So they are now mechanized, and they can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is too far. So that will stop there. Maybe I'll get the Italians to move through the desert. Get the Germans to drive down that road. Given I'm not moving far, I don't know if I even needed those trucks, but okay, I've done it. I'm going to go grab these. I'm sure they could flip over. Mark move, status, convert to MSU. So we can convert. No. I'll just throw them on the truck, I guess, and they'll come down the road like that. Maybe, okay, I should have maybe use these trucks. I've noticed I've got 3 trucks, 3 supplies. So I think that's what I should be doing. So let's do that. Instead of moving these guys, I'm going to put my trucks on my supplies. Which means these guys probably have to move back a bit. For infantry, if they move entirely along a road, along a highway, they get +5 to their movement allowance. So they can move all the way up. I'm going to move these up to here, move the Italians up to there. And then these guys will follow, they'll follow along the road behind them. We'll give them, no more tanks left. These are independent formations. Yep, that's all legal. Just driving up the road. We'll see how that goes. Bit of a traffic jam. Supply points and non-mechanized units may only exit the box by naval transport or if trucked. Okay, so they've got to be trucked out of Tripoli. Non-mechanized units, so none of these non-mechanized units can leave. These guys were okay, right? Because they're mechanized. But these folks may only exit if trucked. I don't remember reading that, sorry. All these little things didn't catch me up. No, the campaign for North Africa yet, but I have printed off the rules and I have been reading it. I've got it open in another window. So I've been reading the glossary very slowly. I'm up to page 5, but I have been reading it. And very intrigued. Okay. So, what's going on here? Tripoli. I don't remember reading that. Tripoli. I'm going to be called out so many times. Off-map boxes. I thought you could just move. From Tripoli, they can move onto the hex map. Okay. They're friendly. Yep. Italy, blah, blah, blah. Off-map, entering off-map box, exiting. Units may exit Tripoli and move onto the map. Access units in Tripoli may also use naval transport, blah, blah, blah. Land movement. Tripoli on the west side is adjacent to the map. These 2 map edge off-map boxes may be entered during movement. During the movement phase, the cost to enter the off-map box is 1. The cost to exit the off-map box and enter the map is always the cost of the first hex entered. Units may use the road rate if applicable. Units that exit the Nile, Delta, or Tripoli may not re-enter. So it doesn't say non-mechanized units and supply points may only exit an off-map box if trucked. It's a little dot point below the actual rule. I missed that. Non-mechanized units, they must be in good order. And I was like, yeah, sure. I missed this. Non-mechanized units and supply points may only exit. Yeah, it's summarized right there, but I didn't notice it until moving all the units out of the way to be able to read it. All right. Oh, okay. That is Axis movement done. Not a lot going on. Again, I could extend movement with a stack with Rommel. It gives +2 or a reroll. I'm going to save it for a reroll just in case. We'll see what happens down here in combat because this is an important combat. Clearing the road, Mercer Brega. I've moved my units. I conduct automatic DS. I don't think I've got 10 to 1. They've got a defense of 6. I need 60. I can now begin construction fortifications with the Axis. Nope. I conduct port demolition and port repair. Nope. Combat phase. I can attack adjacent units in any order. Well, there's only one attack going on, and it is here. And I think I said I got 18, 27, 28 on 6. 29 and 6. So it's 4 to 1. I'm going to use a supply point. Okay, they got numbers. That's 2 supplies, that's 1 supply. Cool. I'm going to use a supply point. I don't know if you saw what I did there, but I've used a supply point to fuel this combat. It's so reminiscent of OCS. All right, so I'm fueling this combat. Actually, Stalingrad 42 uses a somewhat similar system from memory. It's been so long. Fueling this combat. I don't have any artillery. This is not, the duck does not provide artillery. It's a special exception. Okay. 4 to 1. There are modifiers. Okay, so let's look at these modifiers. Tank shifts. You look at, I'm going to move this out of the way for a start. You compare a tank to defender tanks. I have 2. You see my little tank units. All right, this one here has a 2. The defender has no tank units. Now I don't think, okay, the fortification according to my sheet cancels the possibility of a tank shift. So I don't get those tank shifts because of that fortification. Interesting. Defender strength is doubled. Vehicle units are halved attacking into. Ooh, vehicle units halved attacking into. That's a nasty little fort. So now I've got. Now, someone pointed out the last time I played one of these games, I was doing the halving incorrectly. So let's figure out. Halving, unit can be halved. When halving, always halve by individual unit around any fractions up. Okay, so what I do is I do 9 halved to 4.5, round up to 5s. So looking from right to left, I've got 5, 5, 2, 2, 2, 1. So 10, 11, 12, they're not vehicle, they are vehicle units are halved. Here we go. What is a vehicle unit? Asterisk does not include motorized infantry, does include the reconnaissance. So the reconnaissance second unit from the left is halved. So I've got 1, it's counting from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 2 5s is 19. All right, so that's now 3 to 1 odds. No tank shifts are possible. This game uses what are called an elite combined arm shift. And that is if you have an elite armor and an elite infantry, you gain that benefit. So I've got an elite armor and an elite infantry, so I get that benefit, and that's 1 to the right. So now looking at 4 to 1. Sorry, let me highlight this. Look at 4 to 1. I don't have artillery support, and I don't think I've got air support. So I'm guessing I would buy an air unit from here. Air support. I will buy it, send it to the available assets disk. These are my, I've got an available assets disk. So here we go. Rommel is available, I believe. So he's available, and then I spend him from here. When I buy things, they come to my little disc, and this is actually in the game. It's a little cardboard disc. It's part of the counter sheet, which looks really cool. So that's my little available assets disc. Rommel's there. It's just another pop-up box I have to be mindful of. Don't have to worry about that now. All right, 3 to 1. What'd I say? Where'd my CRT go? All right. 3 to 1, 4 to 1 for my elite shift. No artillery, no air. The defender has no tanks. They have no artillery. This is just a one-step unit. Oh, maybe it's not one step. They have no air support because the Axis have air superiority. So it's 4 to 1. You can see vehicle units attacking fortification. 4 to 1, and I have the option of a reroll with Rommel. 4 to 1, 3 is a DRX result. You know what? Both sides lose 1 step. I think I can do better than that. There's only 2. I've got a 1 in 3 chance of losing a step, and that's one of them. So I am going to spend Rommel. I'll get my asset disk out. I will return him to the marker display and I will re-roll. I believe that's how you use Rommel. Rommel, here he is. Once per game turn, I can use him to re-roll one axis die attack die roll. Here we go. 2. It's better. It's lower, but I think it's better. It's a DR2 result. The defender must retreat 2 hexes and become disrupted. DR2. Now I'm guessing DR2, okay, I'm guessing it doesn't specify on the CRT, but I think they can make a determined defense here. None of these summarize determined defense. The only way you cannot conduct a determined defense is if it's red. Red is not allowed. Orange is a modifier. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure the Allies actually want to conduct a determined defense. If they can hold up the axis right here on the first point of their attack, it's a good delay. The Allies want to delay Rommel. Yes, okay, so they will conduct a determined defense. And because they're in fortification, it's this best column. They have no DD support. The lead unit is not elite. They're not low quality, and the CRT result was not orange, so there's no modifiers here. It's just a straight die roll, but anything higher than a 4 will succeed. Okay, let's make a determined defense. A 6. It is, okay, it is a hold. Look at this row here. They hold, they do suffer a step loss. It's only a 1-step unit. Okay, but the 1 asterisk means it's a step loss on the attacker, and the Allies get to pick what it is. And they're definitely going to take one of these tank units out. They lose a step, and that is frustrating for the Germans, and they can advance into this hex. So this is a limited advance because the defender was eliminated in a determined defense. But that's a pretty good result for the Allies. Return that to the holding box. A maximum of 14, I think 14 fortifications. Oh, wow. Okay, not the start the Germans wanted. Okay, that is combat done. There is no advance after combat. They did destroy that fort, but it really came at a cost. DRX, the defender chooses, and the determined defense result, the defender chooses. So they really got unlucky with the Allies being allowed to choose their unit. Movement is done, so we move to the recovery phase, remove disrupted and full retreat, no replacements. Allies Axis supply phase, they're all in supply, they can trace 5 overland hexes, as I said. We now place any delay markers on the map. Now, I note that they're here, but we don't have them. I think we buy them on our, do we buy delay markers? Delay, how do we get delay markers? Let's find that out. I know they're on this sheet, delay markers. Each player may place available delay markers. I just don't know if they're available. When do they become available? The rules say, here we go, delay markers. Each player may place available delay markers. There isn't fog of war. When are they available? They increase the cost of entry. Take any of his delay markers that are on his marker display. This is my marker display. Okay, so I've got 2. I'm guessing, yeah, okay. So more will come out. None are available except the delay marker. It says right there on the scenario setup. This is a problem playing by Vassal and having the game set up for me. None are available except Rommel's ready. He's an available asset. None of these are available except the 2 delay markers. So I can now place these on the map. Now, where do I want to place them? I don't know. Let's have a think about how the allies might respond. All right, so I've broken through here. I want to clear this road. They are going to want to pull back, and they're probably going to defend. If I look at the terrain effects charts, towns don't provide any defensive benefit. So there's other terrain in the hex. Clear terrain does nothing. There is not, maybe a choke point here. If I can defend up here, try and pull back, build a fort, defend those points. Is Agadabia a good place to defend? Because it's kind of like a row in mixed terrain. Maybe I can pull back to here. So maybe I get a delay marker. Oh, this is, yeah, put it there. I'm assuming delay markers only affect, if it's a German delay marker, it only affects for all enemy units only. Okay, so if I put it there, it delays the allies, this formation here, the tanks, as they will try to pull back. They can go round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's slow. That's a good idea. I like that. Then we're going to delay. What else? Probably no point putting it here. MSUs across the desert there. So you can see how you can get these MSUs and the allies can draw supply. I don't know why it's there. That's probably just where it is. Maybe slow them down as they come, maybe there. I'm not entirely set on that point. I just don't know where else. Place on the map. Only those markers may be placed. The one's already on the map. You can't place it. Where can't you place it? Delay markers may not be placed on or adjacent to an enemy combat unit. On or adjacent to an enemy combat or non-combat unit. So I have to place it there. Can't place it because that's a non-combat unit. On or adjacent to another delay marker in an enemy port or airfield. Once I've placed them, I roll 2 dice and remove 5 and 4. Well, 1 and 2 are placed, so nothing to worry about there. It is a rough scenario so far for the Axis. And that's it. Okay, so delay markers have been placed. That's the Allied delay, the Axis delay phase. And I believe now that's the end of the third impulse. We go to the supply. So we go down here, supply, delay marker, back to the top. I didn't move the marker, but that's what's going on. Supply and attrition phase. Okay, so now in the supply and attrition phase, each player rolls 2 dice and consult their supply and attrition table, CRT. I wish these were labeled, it would make it easier. Events and shipping. And third time's a charm. Supply and attrition table. So both players roll 2 dice. Let's do German first. It's a 9. Okay, so the way this works is the map is divided into sectors, and if you have a unit, you have to spend a supply or deplete an ASU if there's a unit in or east of the Mersa-Matra sector, which is this kind of sector. Oh, you can see the line here. Right, so if I had an Axis unit in here, it is straining my supplies and I need to spend a supply point. That's definitely not the case. I would have had to roll, this is my sector here, I'm only in the Benghazi sector, so I would have had to roll a 2 to 5 to have to spend a supply. So nothing to worry about there, no supply issues. One speed bump on the road, IDJ saying, and it causes a major hold-up, almost like the SES system where you can have one guy holding up a whole division down the road. Pretty much, in this case, it was just one little unit in a fort. Now the Allies roll. They roll 2 dice. They roll 11, which is no effect. Wow, they got lucky there, because they almost rolled Benghazi, which anything that's yeah, no effect. Very clearly says no effect. If at least one unit is in or west of, no effect. It has no effect. So no supplies are spent in this phase. Now we get to the victory point check phase. The Germans, where are we? Where is that benchmark? Here we go. They need zero airfields. They have 0 airfields. They're going to be in trouble next turn. I don't know if they can get all the way up to Benina from here. Yeah, it's a way to go. Okay. That's, I think, the end of the turn. So we go now back to the preparation phase. Each player places 2 supply points. Okay. Each player places 2 supply points. And the reinforcements and replacements units received this turn in their base. Italy is my base, so we get 2 supply points and my reinforcements. So, turn 2 reinforcements. These guys arrive in Italy, and they can either be flown or shipped. The Allies, this all happens simultaneously, the Allies have their Nile Delta. They have no turn 2 replacements. Okay, that's easy. But I get 2 supply points. Next question, where are all my supply points? Where do they all come from? They're not supplies. This is the holding box. Tobruk, that's Tobruk, okay. That's my eliminated box. Okay, they're eliminated. These are replacements. This is my replacement supply pool, but I don't know where my supplies are. They're all replacement markers. These are trucks. I know what supplies look like. That's a supply there. So confusing. 2 supply points each. Can I increase? Okay, so maybe I made a mistake there. Maybe I just leave them there and increase that. 2 supply points. Didn't realize that, so I'm rewinding that, leaving the truck in Tripoli. And I think I can manipulate, honest question, I think Martinez games were supposed to be designed to be a simple hexagon game. Like I said, I think it's fair. My initial assessment of this is it is the most complex of his series of games. I'm already confused. So the idea with supplies is you can build these big supply dumps, I guess. Like I said, there's the rules as written, and then there's interpreting them. Supply points. I'm just trying to find SPs. They can be freely combined and broken down during play at any time, as long as the total quantity remains the same. Thus, two 1SPs may be combined to make one a 2SP and vice versa. I just don't know where the extra markers are. Where are the rest? They're my fort markers. Ah, it's got to be here. Yeah, there we go. Found them. Okay, so we can fix that. Let's put two. Let's go back to where I was. Put two SPs there. Level down. Level down. Put you back where you with your trucks. I think they were there. Okay, that's just me learning the vassal module. It varies so much. I agree, IDJ. It varies so much. This is there are so many exceptions. So there's no Zoc-bonds. People have been calling this a Zoc-bond series, but there's no Zoc-bond, no Zoc-bonds in this title. Like I'm gonna reserve judgment until I've played it and feel it out, and it's very different. I know it looks the same, it might feel similar, but yeah, there's so many differences in this one. I'll wait and see how I feel about it until I've kind of given it a decent go. Okay, so that's that preparation phase. Oh, allied 2 supply points. So they get 2 supply points as well. Now we know where they are, 2 SPs in the Nile Delta. Roll 1d6 to see if the Malta status marker is moved. Malta convoy, Malta status marker. Yeah, this one takes the cake though for exceptions. And it's also, I just keep getting confused with the rules. So I read about the Malta status marker. If a player has the opportunity, so that's different to, yeah, so I thought it was, you get the opportunity to roll it. And if you're the Axis, you're rolling here. If the Allies, you're rolling here. Oh no, it's just one row. Okay, if the Luftwaffe is suppressing Malta, if they're not, okay, that makes more sense. So the Malta convoy modifier is recorded. One player will have the opportunity to either increase or decrease. If the marker is on its Luftwaffe side, then the Axis player attempts to decrease the modifier, move it to the left. If it's flipped from turn 6 to 18, okay, so early game, the Luftwaffe has control, and they want to roll a 6. This is what they're looking at. So they roll a die. It's a 5, so nothing happens. It's not a 6, so it doesn't move any further to the left. That's all. Later in the game, the Allies will suppress the Luftwaffe, and they'll be looking at this. So they'll quickly move it up, and then they might struggle in these end columns. All the while, both players can be manipulating this by spending resources. Yep. Maybe change during a player turn if they spend resource points. U-boats in the med and Malta reinforce. Yeah. Okay. So that's Malta. That's the Malta roll. We then get Rommel back. We can flip him back to his ready side, and I'm guessing we move him to an available asset box. Doesn't say that, but I'm going to keep him there anyway. Advance units in the surrender box. Nothing has surrendered yet. Where is that surrender box? It's all the way up here. There it is. Can you imagine playing this in person? You have to walk down. Oh, look, that's North Africa games in general, though, isn't it? Any removals, withdrawals, upgrades are performed. There's nothing there. So now we get to the action phase. Shipping from Italy is allowed. Shipping from Italy is allowed. Naval transport from Italy is allowed. 21.1.3. So, 21.1.3. Naval transport from the Italy box is only allowed in the first impulse, and Tripoli must be its destination, port, unless I spend a resource for Benghazi. Well, I don't want to get a Benghazi yet because it's held by the Allies. Now, what have I got in Italy? I've got these units. Let's get this sort of reconnaissance cavalry unit. Hold on a sec. Players conduct 3 action impulses in this phase. Okay, so what turn are we on? Oh, we should have moved the turn track up. Third impulse only. Germany invades Yugoslavia and Greece. Historically, we do have some replacements coming in. Benchmark is 1. Okay. So, in this impulse, player turn, initial phase, we roll 2d6 on the event table. Where was that event table again? I think it was 2, right? Yes, 2. So we do allied player first. So the allies first. They are rolling 2d6 on the event table. It's a 5. The allied event is recall 1 resource point. I think I read the allies. Did I read the Germans? I should have read OKW, but I read Middle East Command last turn for the Germans. Same result. A 5 here is recall 1 resource track. Recall 1 resource point. Here we go. So the allies now have 1 resource point. They now restore units using replacements. So we have got, where is it? Up on the turn track, 1 British tank replacement. Okay, 1 British tank replacement. Now I could replace that unit, and they would get, if I mark them, I'll just show you this. If I mark them with replacements, they can move 1 hex. So they could shift back into there, but I want to move a bit further than that, so I'm not going to replace them. Looking around, I'm looking for reduced armor formations. Look, I might rebuild. This is the eliminated box, and I've got some tanks here. They both look identical, so let's bring them back into... Oh, hold on, we've got guys in the Nile Delta. So let's bring these guys. Let's increase a step. Gain a step. Back up to full strength. And they will gain replacements. Okay. That's the allied replacements. We now, fort completion die roll. Not, as far as I'm aware, no forts are under construction. Remove transport markers, rail, air and navy, movement phase. Oh boy, this is a long turn. So, I want to try and hold, at least create a bit of a roadblock in Argadabia. That'll give me a defense of 8. That's a decent defense. Like I defended here with 6 pretty well. So let's I can bring this tank here as well. And yeah, let's try 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And let's try and hold that. That's a solid defense of 6, 7, 8, 12. So the best they'll be able to get is 2 to 1 with their 30 attack factors. That's a pretty solid defense. I'm going to move this MSU. Moving across the track is half. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm giving myself some supply lines across the desert there. This supply marker cannot move without trucks. Now I've got a question. Now, do I try and bring this infantry down to here or retreat? I think I've got to move forward and try and hold at least until this is the 9th Australian Division, at least until the Germans bring in a lot of strength. All right, so we've got here the headquarters. They're trucked. Got supplies everywhere. Supply dumps spread throughout the desert here. So yeah, I might try and advance. Where are my trucks? Where are the allied trucks? They should all be... I got one truck. I've only got one truck. You would retreat. Time is on my side. Yeah, but I want to stop them getting airfields. This is the thing. If I can delay their capture of Benina Airfield, it's victory points every turn. Next turn they'll need 2 airfields, so they'll need Benina and then Martuba. And if I can stop them getting that, that's sort of 3 victory points in 2 turns. And I only need, this could be a very quick allied victory if I can really hold them up. It's just the Germans and the Axis really want to get all their Italian units on quickly and overwhelm this position. So yeah, I'm going to mount a forward defence. I'm throwing the Australians really out there. I'm also worried about trucks. I thought I'd have more trucks for this. I guess I can spend... Okay, here we go. Let's look at these charts. I can spend resources to replace an eliminated truck unit. Problem is I don't have eliminated truck units. I just don't have trucks. I don't know if I'm meant to have a... Oh, here we go. Do I have a pool of trucks? Nope. I do not have a pool of trucks. Okay. I believe... Oh, you know what? I'm wondering, do I also start building fortifications around here? Do I start, for example, building a fortification in Benghazi? So I know I can build them, and you do that in the movement phase. So fortifications cost a resource point to build one. Construction here must contain or be adjacent to a friendly combat unit in full or port supply. It's begun in the movement phase and may be completed. Now, to attempt to complete that, you have to roll a die. You need to get a 4 to 6. Oh no, sorry. On a 1 to 3, it's complete and it's flipped over. But you can fail time and time again. So the earlier you start, I guess the more die rolls you get. Now I'm just thinking here, looking at this escarpment. So Axis armor units, any armor unit in fact, cannot cross these escarpment hexes except at roads. So they can cross here and they can cross here. And you can see this is where the 9th Division is. If I can fortify those 2 places, they'll have to come across this desert. And if I can hold there, I might try and fortify here. So I'm going to spend my one resource point to fortify. Do I even need to fortify? Hold on a sec. Maybe I just don't need to fortify because it's already a pretty solid defensive position. So I might just hold here. They can capture Benghazi. I'll hold this position on the escarpment. Looking at the escarpment, let me try and show you. Escarpment hex side, no tank shift is possible. The attacker is halved attacking up it. I am doubled when attacking down it. Vehicle units may only attack at roads, so they can attack here, but they'll be halved up here. And I'll have a defense of 18, set 9, sorry, which is very solid. The best they can do is 1 to 1, because the most they can do is 30. Half to 15 is not even 2 to 1. So I'm going to hold there, hold there. They've got a range of 5. So I know I've brought my tanks forward to defend here. But like I said, the best I can do there is 2 to 1. We'll see what happens. So no movement, no digging in. All right, so no entrenched, no fortifications happening. The This is the Tobruk defensive area, and it has its own little existing groundwork. No effect on movement indicates that fortifications can be complete without a die roll. So all I have to do is sort of tack move those guys out to there. Oh, actually, I don't need to move in all. I'm going to build a fortification in Tobruk. Let me just check, actually. Sorry, there's so much back and forth here. Player card 3. Here's how I can spend my points. Destroy forts, fortifications, blah, blah, blah. Truck replacement, headquarters replacement, strafing. Place 2 markers on a road hex within 16 hexes. That's pretty cool. That slows down their movement. It's like a delay marker. Long range desert group. Again, slows down the Germans. What else? I think that'll be it. Thanks, IDJ, my campaign manager. Time is on my side. Sorry, I'm up to here. Thanks, IDJ, appreciate it. I think I'm going to build a fortification in Tobruk. So, yep, resource point is spent. I get my allied fortification marker when I find them. Here it is. I drag that over to Tobruk. Now this is existing groundwork. So fortifications built on one of these 5 hexes. There are 5, 3 around there. Is Bardia one? Bardia might be one. Mersa Matra might be the other. Yeah, they're the only ones with the hash thing. Do not need a die roll. They are completed in the next friendly phase. So I've started that. I'm actually going to start it here. Start that fortification. It'll be automatically complete on the next initial phase. So well done. 9th Division has started to dig in. The 3rd Indians here, they'll hold there. They've already got a fort there. I may advance. Yeah, we'll go up a bit. So 1, 2, 3, and if it's a non-mech unit using a road, they get an 8 movement point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a huge benefit for non-mech units entirely using a road. I've got a Polish unit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll start to ferry them up. These guys are mechanized. So 1 quarter along this highway. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're going to use extended movement for 1, 2, 3. And so that tells me that units with 6 can get that far. It'd be nice if there were little markers to give me a shortcut. They'll move up to there. They are not mechanized, so they can't move. I do have a truck with supplies. You know what? I'm going to grab these guys on a truck, and they're going to go up to here as well. So I'm not shipping the supplies. I'm shipping an infantry. What did I move? Brigade. 22nd Guards. Okay. That is Allied movement done. I think. That's everything in the box. These guys can move 1 hex max. I guess they'll move onto the map to Alexandria. That's 1 hex, I think. And we're done. So, That's the allied movement phase. Allied combat phase, no combat. Allied recovery, there's nothing disrupted, but we do remove that replacement marker. Recovery phase, supply phase, check the supply status. Everyone is in supply. They're all pretty much on these major roads, so nothing to worry about there. Allied delay phase. So the Allies do have one delay marker, and they're going to plop that on that road in front of the Germans. We might actually put it. We'll actually put it there. No, actually, we'll put it there because they can go round. So we'll put it there so they either funnel through that area section between the rough and the marsh, or they go through the rough. Marsh is prohibited terrain. Okay. Oh boy, this is taking me a long time to play through this. That now is the end. I'm going to roll for it because it's the delay phase. I roll 2 dice and they remove 2. Ah, that's a shame. Okay. Look, that's taking me a long time to play through half an impulse. So I might pause it here and continue later. I'm going to double check a few things. I'm going to read through the rules for port movement because I'm coming into the German turns and I want to make sure I get this right. So I'm going to pause it here, read through port movement. Thus far, look, it would have been nice to get that delay marker there. It would have, I don't think it would have stopped the Germans doing much. It just would have slowed down some of their other units in the rear. So look, folks, that's the opening impulse. We've had a German impulse and an Allied impulse of turn 2. We're up to now the German first impulse. We've had the Allied first impulse, now we're up to the German first impulse of turn 2. We have a German armour. Oh, we have a German armour replacement, so they can rebuild that. That'll take them out of action for that turn. That's interesting. All right, folks, more to come. Yeah, I'll be back soon. Thanks all. Bye.